Are you a recruiter stuck on LinkedIn? You want to know how to get out of it? Check out this video and I'll let you know. Hey, welcome to the Millionaire Recruiter. I'm Brianna Rooney, your Millionaire Recruiter. And if you haven't yet seen this channel before, it is all about making you the next Millionaire Recruiter. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm super excited to talk to you today about how do you get unstuck on LinkedIn. You're searching all day long, you're sourcing for your clients, you're doing a solid job, but you're stuck. You feel like you're in the same search day in, day out. If you're on a recruiting team, you feel like you're just kind of following each other. You have like multiple messages to each person you're finding, and you are just not only bored, you're frustrated, and there's just no extra juice. You're feeling like you're doing the same thing every single day and it's not working. What do you do? Well, what makes me super excited to talk to you about this today in particular is I have just spent the last week training and looking at every single person's search as a team, very collaboratively, actually in different offices. As if you haven't yet, first of all, seen this channel, I have a firm, Techies, that focuses on tech recruiting in the Bay Area. So it's the hottest, the most competitive. It's so fun, so many moving parts. But we have 3 different offices. So we have quite a lot of sourcers, quite a lot of recruiters, and it's a lot of moving parts. So what I wanted to know is, how do people search on LinkedIn? Do people use the Boolean? Do they do a broad search? Do they go on enough tangents to make them the next Millionaire Recruiter? Because guess what? Although I love you YouTubers and everyone that finds this channel, Techies is obviously my other baby, my third baby, and I want to make sure that every single person at Techies is going to also be that next Millionaire Recruiter, as well as you guys. So we spent a lot of time doing that this week, and so I'm super pumped to talk to you about how you can shake your search and get the most maximized results for this. So I want to break this up. First of all, we will do this video, but I would like to do a share screen on a different video so I get a little more nitty gritty, and it will be more like tangents on LinkedIn. I've done a little video on that before, but I want to get, again, more nitty gritty because I think it's so fun and there's so many more things to do. So you're in the same search. First of all, let's just say you're looking for 5 different candidates, 5 different, in my job, technologies and languages, right? That's like Java, Ruby, Python, front end, infrastructure, stuff like that. They're all different engineers. For every single search, every single candidate you are doing, you better know at least three different searches for every single type of person you're searching for. People are very confused by this. They say, well, if I have a really good search, why do I need multiple searches? Well, because LinkedIn is giant. Your connections, by each connection you make on LinkedIn, it expands, okay? So there's so many people you don't get to see if you still rock that same search. Here's a great example. In the gray, in a perfect world, for me with tech, every single person I place and I get has a computer science degree from the top 25 schools. My clients are thrilled. Guess what? If I were to look back, I do know my numbers, I do know my data analytics because that's important. Look back, do we place a ton of computer science from the top schools? No, actually we don't. We have a lot of offers for those people, but we don't actually convert a lot of them because the FANG companies, we've got, do you guys know what FANG? I feel like that's a wholly different subject, but the Facebooks, the Apples, the Amazon, the Netflix, the Googles of the world, those big players, those heavy hitters that are given heavy stock, heavy base, out of this world benefits, it's really hard to compete with that. So it depends on what that engineer is actually looking for and what their passion is, right? So although those people are great and our clients love to see them and they love a chance to get those type of engineers, right? Those outliers, those amazing, top 5% engineers, those are great. We want them on our team. However, it's very hard to convert. So we do place a lot of just computer science. Someone has their computer science degree, fantastic. Guess what? Someone has 10+ years experience, doesn't have a computer science degree, but they earned their right for the last 10 years, we place them, right? They have proved themselves worthy. They know exactly what they're doing. They have that experience. So if you are rocking that same search with the top 25 schools because your company told you or your client told you that's what they wanted, you are missing out on a whole gamut of really placeable people. That alone, start a new search. You're stuck on LinkedIn, start a new search. start a tangent. Here's an example. Let's say your client is Google. Google wants Rails engineers. Okay, so what are you gonna do? Lots of different ways to do it. You could do a Rails search, sure. You can go in a Rails group. That's a Rails search. That's another search, great. Or you can think a little outside the box here and you can go on regular LinkedIn. You can look up Google employees. Now Google's giant, so it's a little bit hard, but you can look up Google employees and you can say, what is that common denominator? LinkedIn gives you insights on their people. Where do they come from? What schools do they come from the most? They're gonna list like 8 or so at least. Whoa, wait a minute, there's some schools there, maybe San Francisco State, I didn't think of. They've got a lot of people from there. I'm gonna find that common denominator. Maybe a lot of people from Google came from, all right, Microsoft. I don't know. I'm just like totally using fake things here, but maybe they did. Am I gonna go look up some more Microsoft people or people that used to work at Microsoft? Yeah, guess what? Those are 2 separate tangents. Now, let's say you bring up everyone from Google. No, actually, let's do this. You find out that Microsoft is that common denominator. I'm gonna look up, not necessarily just people from Microsoft, but I'm gonna look at people who used to work at Microsoft because that caliber is still gonna be the same. They got hired at Microsoft back then, they get hired, assuming now, right? Again, do you see all these different tangents that I'm doing? You see, or what about this? What if you see someone that is absolutely perfect for your job? You don't even know what that company was that they came from before. You're gonna look up that company? Yeah, you will. You're gonna look up that current company they're with? Yeah, you will. Or you can also put in LinkedIn Recruiter, those little 3 dots. You're gonna look up similar profiles of that person. And what does that bring you to? That brings you to a whole new LinkedIn page and what LinkedIn deems as their search. LinkedIn's probably the master of domains when it comes to their search, right? Use it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you are so laser focused in your LinkedIn search, you're gonna get stuck. Hold on, I need to move my hair. So if you're all set in your LinkedIn search like this, you are going to get stuck. You're going to get bored. And also another top reason, which I wouldn't think I'd have to tell people, but I do. If you are stuck on LinkedIn, you might not actually be sending out enough messages. If you are not sending out at least 200 emails a week, your sample size is not big enough to deem worthy as to what your response rate is. Therefore, you might be pretty bored because not enough people are getting back to you and you're not actually figuring out why. That also is being stuck. So although you need a motivation to start a search, any search, you have to have a client in mind. 2 client in minds is what I particularly love, but at Techies we like to argue about that, which by the way is great collaboration, so keep arguing. Then you're gonna get stuck. You need motivation during your search, but you also need to have a broad perspective as to where you can also place these people and the different movements you can go through on LinkedIn. So do not think that, oh my God, I have ADD, I can't possibly go off on all these tangents. No, a good recruiter, the Millionaire Recruiter, allows themselves to think outside the box and go on these tangents and they never feel stuck. If you think that LinkedIn is not big enough, you are doing it wrong, 100%. Okay? All right, this was super fun because I just did this in the company today, so I love it. I'm super passionate about it. I would love to hear how you get out of your funk, how you get unstuck on LinkedIn, and how you make the maximized results of all of your searches. I would love to hear that because every single person does it differently here at Techies, and I would assume every single person watching this right now does it differently. Do you do Boolean search? Do you do a wide search? Do you do a company search? Do you grab the job description and get really specified? I would love to hear that. So don't forget to watch me every single Thursday at noon. Like, subscribe, hit me up on LinkedIn. Love that love. And don't forget that money is a vessel to let you do all the amazing things you want to do in life. So go do it, go get it, and I'll see you later.